I am the founder and CEO of Sage Life. My theme, I think, for today is going to be called Counterintuitive Traction. I'm going to talk about a lesson I learned in the last company I had, Strategic Health Policy International, and a lesson that I wish I had brought in to the new company that I have right now. Now, we were a 20-year-old, over our lifespan, a global consulting firm. Our clients were businesses and governments around the world. A few years into this company, my employees came to me and said they didn't want to make any more money. What they wanted was time. Now, we weren't really working that many hours. I mean, yes, we worked a good solid 40-hour work week, and some of us may have pushed 60 from time to time, and we traveled, so that was part of our burden as well in the context of our work, but they said they wanted time. Now, the first thing that we did was to decide we would work 40 hours in 4 days. That lasted for about 2 weeks, because Wednesday was tough and Thursday was brutal. So then we decided that maybe what we would just do is take off Friday afternoons. After all, some companies do that during the summer. Maybe that would be all the extra time that we would need. Well, one thing led to another, and here's what happened. We ended up working only 4 days a week. With the agreement that if we really had a hot project and we needed to work on Friday mornings, that we would, probably from home. Our income doubled. The next year, we kept it up. Our income doubled again. Every year after that, the already very good numbers that we had went up. What I learned from that traction was the value of the knowledge worker and how they need downtime in order to restore and refresh. Well, fast forward to where I am now. I was told by all of my advisors, most recently even last week, that as a startup and as a either pre-revenue or right now as a very, very, very early revenue company, that I should not hire staff. Now, why on earth, after the extraordinary experience I had with my former staff, would I ever take that piece of advice? But I did. I was told that headcount was not a good thing in a startup. Well, okay, it was a tech startup, and I'm a little bit iffy on that platform, so I did take more of that advice than I should. And I did what they suggested. I hired vendors. Now, I say we're very, very, very early right now. We've just launched our MVP. If I'd had staff, we would have done that 2 years ago. I didn't realize this until last year about now. I had some time at Thanksgiving. I took some time off, and for the first time in a long time, I had some space between my nose and the startup grindstone. And one of the things I did was kind of map out the company. I made an org chart, and I put everybody on there, all those vendors that I'd hired, and then myself and another person who were working on this, and it was really clear instantly. There were only 2 of us that were working full-time, and we were the only 2 not being paid. Everybody else was working part-time. Everybody else was being paid, and guess what? I was not the top of their list. Now, I didn't expect to be. We're not big yet, but I did expect that all of my vendors would meet their deadlines. None of them did, even the deadlines that they agreed to. So what happened was, without my realizing it, I lost 2 years, 1 half day at a time. Something would be promised on Thursday, and oh, Glenna, I'm so sorry, but another crisis came up with a client, and I had to take care of them, so it'll be next Tuesday. And I didn't notice, because I had to-do lists as long as both arms, and I was working so hard just to try to keep my own head above water, and that list shorter than both arms, that I didn't notice the time that I was losing. Once I saw that display, I made a change. Oh my goodness, you would have thought, you're taking on headcount, you're taking on payroll. When I really ran the numbers, I was going to get more of people's time, more of people's dedication, more of people's loyalty for a whole lot less money. So, at the end of January, I hired people, 5 altogether. In the end, 2 were not a fit, so they're gone. But the 3 and I, who have remained, have made more progress since the end of January that I made in the previous 2 to 3 years. So the lesson, I think, in this particular traction story is to pay attention to all of the lessons that I've learned along the way, and especially those which, at the deep core, come from my own wisdom and my own experience.